Hi, thank you for giving your time to be a volunteer Reading Express story reader through the Jewish Federation's Kohl Jewish Volunteer Center. We as Jews are commanded to teach our children the values we glean from telling and retelling the stories of our people as found in the Torah, as we are obligated to pass on our tradition from generation to generation. Our Jewish values also remind us of the responsibility we have to take care of our community and the obligation each of us has to give back. Today, we will share some tips and tricks to being an engaged story reader. We hope this video will provide you with some new skills that you can use to engage and excite children through the power of books. So let's get started. For this training video, I will be using the book There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Turkey. Any book can be used. It's just about applying the skills to any book that you are reading to children. Let me go over a few points that need to be remembered and ways that you can encourage the children to participate. Make sure that you are situated in a place that's visible to everyone, even that kid in the way back. You want to make eye contact in between each paragraph or sentence, depending on the words in the book. When you read a story, if you are enthusiastic, the listeners will be enthusiastic. So, how do we show our enthusiasm? You can show it through your eyes, you can show it through your body language, and you can just flat out say, I know you are going to love this story too. Your voice, of course, is the most important way to convey your enthusiasm. Remember, kids have lots of questions. If you would prefer that the children wait until after you read the entire story to ask questions, just tell them ahead of time. Sometimes questions in the middle of the story do add to the engagement and excitement, but they can also be a distraction. Perhaps having a quick discussion with the teacher in the room ahead of time could help you decide which way you want to go in each situation. Speak loudly and clearly. You don't want to be shouting, but you definitely want to project your voice so that everyone can hear you read your story. For every story, you do not need to change your voice for each character. You may just want to pick one or two characters in the story to have a unique and different voice. When you're reading a story, you absolutely also want to show the pictures in the book. But she's always been quirky. If you're reading a story or a book that has a repetitive rhyme or word or phrase, you may want to use that to engage the children by asking them to repeat it back to you. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey. She's always been quirky. Can you say quirky?
Quirky.
I don't know why she swallowed the turkey. She's always been quirky. If you'd like to add some drama, that always helps with a story. I'm not talking about full out acting out your story. I'm talking about adding drama in just a moderate way that enhances the story reading. Your voice and your vocal tone can also be part of this dramatic reading. For example, if you would like to convey sadness, you can slow the pace down and lower your voice to convey a sad moment in any story. If you want to show excitement in a part of a story, you can raise the pitch of your voice and talk at a quicker pace. If a part of the story is scary and spooky, you can slow down your pace and add a shake to your voice. You will definitely find your own personal comfort zone with all of these vocal tones. If you were reading a story about Farmer Blake and Sneaky Snake, the words of Sneaky Snake could be read with a low and whispery, sneaky voice to denote Sneaky Snake. And if you were in the voice of Farmer Blake speaking, you could use a louder and gruffer voice that had more of a barreling sound to it. In this story, maybe there are hens and chickens that have high-pitched voices that clamor all around the other characters. It is completely up to you. You might want to stop and share a few of your own thoughts and ideas on the story, and then ask the children for their participation, their reaction, how they felt about the story, and some questions. Here are some great conversation starters after your story. First, does this book remind you of another book, and why? What was your favorite part of this story and why? You can ask, how did this story make you feel? Finally, you might ask, has anything that takes place in this story ever happened to you? You may be surprised with some of the answers. Definitely be prepared for anything. Find a natural time once the kids have asked all of their questions to wrap it up by thanking them for sharing this story with you. Above all, no matter what, as a story reader, it's important for you to be yourself and to practice reading aloud at home before you enter the classroom. It doesn't matter what book you have at home. It's so important that you just practice, because as you practice reading aloud, you will feel more comfortable. You can read aloud alone in front of a mirror. You can read aloud and take turns with a friend or a neighbor. You can certainly take a coffee break and meet another volunteer and practice reading aloud to one another. Maybe sharing some of these tips and tricks with one another and practicing your voices, your vocal tone, how you are going to sit to read, where you want the children to sit to face you. All of these practice sessions will help you be the most impactful and engaging story reader that you can be. Again, thank you so much for your dedication and the time that you are giving to our community.